AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Big Red Rocking Chair on Elm off Adams in LeGrand. Go see them. The Daggett family, I mean, the stuff that they do for this community alone is enough to support that business. So go check out their showroom. It's beautiful. They have awesome selection of mattresses, recliners, anything you need for your home. They want to make you comfortable in your own home. Sports-wise, LHS girls wrestling went to Othello this weekend for the Lady Husky Invitational. They had 3 individual champions, 10 placers, and brought home another championship for this LeGrand girls wrestling team. They got a good chance at winning a state title this year. It's kind of cool. And it's one of those things where it's really picked up a lot of support. When we do Wrestling Wednesdays, Dustin and Clell and I, we've talked a lot about girls wrestling, especially in the state of Oregon, and how far it's come and where it's at right now. And it's really an awesome thing. The boys wrestling team walked away with the Skyview Duels Championship this weekend in Idaho, which is like a collaboration of a lot of really good schools in Idaho. The boys are currently 3rd in the state on the coaches poll behind Sweet Home and Crook County, and they're going to vie for a state championship too. We're going to have to get 20 kids. We're going to have to qualify 20 kids for state to have a chance at winning state this year. And that would be our 3rd one in a row for the boys. So it's possible. I'm not going to say that we're in the driver's seat, though, because Sweet Home is really deep this year. And my son's team wrestles against Sweet Home a lot, so I paid a lot of attention to Sweet Home this year, and Crook County for that matter. And deepness is what wins you state championships. It's not necessarily having a couple state champions.
Right.
Of course. I mean, we have Kai Carson coming back, who's a state champion last year. We have a couple kids that are going to vie for a state championship: Ridge Kerr, Tommy Belding, Bragan Anderson, Kenai Huff. But the reality of it is we need a lot of kids to place. And we need a lot of kids to score points at state in order to win this state championship. So it's going to be about depth more than anything for the boys. They wrestle this weekend at the Research Tournament of Champions at Liberty High School, which means they're going to be at the same tournament that I'm going to be at. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to that tournament. I'll get to see a team that I cover in LeGrand and my son wrestle on the same weekend, and a possibility of my son wrestling the LeGrand kid, which is what we've wanted.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
They're both seniors. Kenai is number 1 in 4A at heavyweight, and then my son's number 2 in 5A at heavyweight. So it'll be a clash of titans. You know what I mean? It's gonna be. It'll be fun to watch, really. LHS boys basketball lost to Ontario in a heartbreaker, 40-39 on Friday night. They have a non-league game against Fruitland tonight at 7:30 in Fruitland, 7:30 Mountain Time. The girls beat Ontario handedly, 57-21 Friday. They don't play again until this Friday night in a huge GOL game against Baker on the road. That's a big game for the girls. Congrats to Kyle Knutson of EOU Men's Wrestling. He placed 3rd at the Missouri Valley Invite, which is arguably the biggest tournament of the year outside of nationals. It has, everybody goes to this tournament. EOU finished in 19th place, which is about right, because that's about right where they're ranked in the country right now. And it has the best NAIA schools in the country at this tournament. So it's kind of a nationals preview. We didn't get to see Hunter Sparks, the number 1 wrestler at 125. I don't know if he's injured. I didn't ask Dustin, but he did not wrestle in this tournament. So we haven't seen him really wrestle any of the top guys, but he's still number 1, and he's the runner-up from last year. So he still has a really good chance, as well as Kyle. Kyle's right there in the mix for a national championship. They wrestle this Sunday in Salem against a really tough Corbin team, and Corbin's wrestling has really turned a corner. And every team in the CCC is good. It's crazy. It's the best wrestling conference in the country when it comes to NAIA. They just beat up on each other. They always have 5 or 6 teams in the top 25, and it really, that's why we don't see the high rankings in our conference, because they're constantly beating each other. The EOU women's wrestling team had a really good weekend as well. They had duels against Pacific and Linfield over there in Forest Grove. They won both of them, And then they also had 15 placers on Sunday at the Boxer Open, including a championship for Irma Rotano, which is cool. I mean, 15 placers in one tournament for wrestling is a lot.
Wow.
That's a lot. EOU men's and women's hoops both had huge weekends. They both swept Evergreen and Northwest, and they both play at home again this weekend, and this weekend's huge. The women have won 5 in a row. The men have won 3 in a row. And this weekend, they both take on Southern and OIT, which is huge games, playoff implications moving through the season. The men currently sit in 7th, the women in 4th. They're both eligible for the tournament right now, and they just need to keep winning. I mean, that's the reality of it all. EOU track and field saw a school record drop this weekend at the Lauren McCluskey Invitational in Idaho. Osman is athlete of the week in the CCC. He broke the 400-meter record this weekend, which is cool. I mean, it's a record that, I mean, when you go to a school, you want to be a record holder, right? You want the school's record. And that's what he did this weekend. And the funny thing is the EOU athletic department, they said he's so good you say his name twice. Which was kind of a cool headline for them. Anyways, that's all for sports this week. Northwest Furniture and Mattress, go check them out. Big Red Rocking Chair on Elm off Adams in LeGrand.